This is another HBC Spotlight. But today, Dick Norford's GPS took him in reverse, and he, Susan Tussey, and myself, we had an opportunity to visit Gabe, who was a cyclist in the early years of the Harrisburg Bicycle Club. And I'm talking back in the 1960s, early 1960s. So let's roll them.
We're here in Gabe Staznik's tailor shop in Susquehanna Township.
Came to the United States in 1960.
In 1960, okay.
That's correct.
Did you ride a bicycle in Croatia before you came to Harrisburg?
No, I did not, no.
So when did you start bicycle riding?
I would say, I think within a year that I was in the United States, a neighbor taught me how to ride
Okay,
a bicycle.
so 1961.
Correct.
Okay, so how did you happen to meet back in those days the Harrisburg Bicycle Club, which we now know was formed in 1963, and there were, in the original bicycle club, there were 9 members. There were 3 adults and 6 children. Okay, so you joined sometime pretty close after that.
Very close after that, yes.
Okay, so how did you happen to, and you were managing David's downtown at that time?
Clothing store, yeah, my profession is tailor. Yes.
Okay, so you managed a men's clothing store, tailor shop, next to the old William Penn Hotel.
That's correct.
Okay, so how did you happen to get interested in bicycle riding and the Harrisburg Bicycle Club at that point?
Well, first, I enjoyed riding a bike when I learned it, but then I heard of this gentleman, Bulatovic. Now, his name was, last name Bulatovic. He's on the list of the original,
Okay,
members.
original members, okay.
And he is from same country I came from. And then I met him. He owned the, I think it was up on 3rd, way up on 3rd Street, the auto repair shop, something like that. So that I talked to him. Interesting thing about him, he was I think Tour de France or something like that.
The Tour de France, okay.
Yeah, he was in those and so forth. And he escaped from Yugoslavia at that time, just like we did. We went with the boat, but he escaped with a bicycle.
With a bicycle, okay.
Yeah, across.
All right.
And through that conversation, I joined the club.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm holding the sign of Bike to Work Week, which was the 3rd week of May in 1971.
Yes.
You know, some things haven't changed. We still do Bike to Work Week the 3rd week of May.
No, that's interesting.
Yep. And Bike to Work Day is normally the Friday of that week. As a matter of fact, this year in years gone by, we don't know what we'll do this year because we don't know with the pandemic, but we frequently will do an executive ride around the Capitol, where we'll have a few elected officials come out and PennDOT is there. So Gabe, I'm holding this. We don't do any bicycle races anymore. We're a social club and our rides are social. Some of our members do go off and participate in races. I no longer race. That's long since gone. But this was sponsored by the Harrisburg Bicycle Club in part. It says Eastern States Championships. I noticed that it's September the 4th, 1966, and it was a part of Capona. So bicycle races, I know now they no longer, they used to do canoe races on the river, and this was like the end of summer. So there was a bicycle event that was the end of summer, a part of Capona. Is that so?
That's
did you
correct.
participate in any of the races? Or?
In this one I did.
You participated in this one?
Yes.
So were you first, second, third, or
Well-
overall winner? Or?
Well, let me brag about myself. I think aside of Bulatovic, who was a professional bike racer, I was, a little younger, strong, came from Europe, you always. So I was rather good in athleticism, and I had this Astra, this French bike, and then on the starting point, I left everybody in the dust. I mean, I was halfway gone, feeling good, showing off. I make a turn from 3rd Street up to Walnut Street, and there was that hotel right in front, and it was after the rain. The puddle was covered with water. I didn't see my front wheel hit that, flipped over, bent my front. That was the end of that race. So I was last.
So, Gabe, the first ride that I ever did as a part of a group was 150 miles. It took 2 days. It took 2 days to do it. We did 75 miles. It was one of the early MS 150 rides. But you told Susan when we were arranging this meeting that you used to do a century ride. Now they do centuries, they call them metric centuries, which is 62 miles. But I understand you did the full 100 miles.
But it was a special event, and we rode around here Gettysburg, then went on the Gettysburg battlefield, so forth, and went back to fill out 100 miles. And what happened to me personally is when I was on Mulberry Street Bridge, because all this riding and muscles, all of a sudden my feet just froze, like, I couldn't move my knee, I couldn't bend, barely enough to get off the bike. And then I was walking with a bike with my feet totally straight, and I was so embarrassed. Cars were going looking at me. I was walking like a soldier with a thing and pushing the bike. And so that was.
Hey, Dick, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How do you end an interview like this that you don't want to end?
So, Scott, that's a really good question. But I think the best way to end this interview would be for you to reach in that big fat wallet of yours, take out a nice crisp $100 bill and hand it to me, and I'll shut up and go home.
I'll tell you, that's a bargain. It's cheaper than me.